Hey everyone, how's it going? So what am I working on now? Well, I'm not really working on it, but I want to show you something. This Saturn here, I made that video a couple days ago. Actually, I think it was actually last weekend. And it had been sitting in my barn on the other side of the house for, the last year. Matter of fact, it's been a year this week. I come to find that out looking at like memories on Facebook. I was like, ooh, yeah, this was actually a year ago. Anyway, so as you saw in the video, I got the car jump started and I used one of those booster packs, one of those new style booster packs, ones that you can use to recharge your phone and everything else. And you can set it, like turn it on for like boost only, and then it'll boost and it'll stay in boost mode for a period of time, and then it'll shut off of boost mode. So when it did that, the car shut down. It's not like jumping a car from another car or jumping it from like one of those actual booster packs, like those big heavy ones that are actually have batteries inside of them. Like, well, they all have batteries inside, but I'm talking about like you can actually start a car without a battery with those and keep it running with that booster pack. The Jump and Carry 660 is one that I know of and I've used many times. The little ones, yeah, they're great for like, charging your cell phone and stuff like that because they're small and compact. And yes, in an emergency, they are great for jump starting your car. Like let's say, I don't know, you go into a grocery store and you accidentally left your lights on, you come back out and it's like click, 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 your battery's dead. It's like, oh, dang it. You grab one of those, you jump start your car, you're on your merry way again. The alternator takes over and charges the car. Okay. I got a lot of comments, a lot of different comments. I even had one that said it was my worst video ever. But that's all they said. Like, why? I have no idea. But anyway, apparently it was my worst video ever. But I got a lot of comments saying, if the alternator is working, it should take over and the car should run. And I do agree. I actually do agree, yes. If it was an older car. If it was an old carbureted car, yeah, absolutely. Or an early generation fuel injected car even. Yes, absolutely. But a newer style, anything newer than say 2005 or 6 when OBD2 came out. Did I say 95? Did I say 05? No, I meant to say 95. If I didn't say 95, 96, I meant 95, 96. Anyway, about that time where the systems became more sophisticated with the bus communication and stuff like that, and everything was very voltage specific. That's why when you have a car nowadays, and I've just seen this actually last week, when you have cars nowadays where the battery keeps going dead and you keep having to jump start it, you can fry computers in your vehicle. I've seen that plenty of times, and I actually just saw one this week where somebody kept having to jump start their car, and instead of going to get a battery, they just kept doing it, and eventually they fried the ABS module. So, but whatever. But so, why didn't this stay running? Okay. If I start it now and disconnect the battery, it'll stay running. At least it should, I hope. I should probably make sure that it will actually do that before I continue this video, because then I'm just going to look like a complete idiot. All right, let's do that. Let's pop the trunk, and then let's start this up, and let's disconnect the battery, and it should stay running. It should stay running. And if you remember in the other video, I'm going to try to figure out how to tag it up here somewhere. If you remember in the other video, every time the battery booster, the little one, shut down, the car shut off. But this time, I think it'll stay running. Let's find out. All right, so move you over here. And I'm you staring at my shirt. Have you stare at the car. So there's the battery. I still have the tools in the trunk. I haven't taken the tools out yet. But let's actually come over here and let's start this thing. It's been sitting all day. It's at my grandson's birthday party today. But let's start it. Okay, no battery light on, no nothing. So my prediction is it's going to stay running. And then I will explain the whole thing. Okay, so all I'm going to do is disconnect. Oops. There. Negative is disconnected from the battery completely. See that? Okay, so now it's disconnected. I just want to show you. No tricks up my sleeve. See, there's no battery light on because the alternator's taking over and charging. But I'm going to shut it off. I am stone dead because the battery's disconnected. I can't even turn the key off now because the solenoid won't kick back. Okay, so why? All right, let me just set you up in a tripod. Sorry. Contrails. Okay. So, the battery that was in it was so stone dead. Dead. And I wish I still had it and I would put it in there and do it again, but I actually took the battery in and gave it to the scrap guy because he gets a couple bucks for it. The battery was dead. Stone dead as a doornail. You saw that. As soon as it shut down, that's it. It was over and done with. When you have a battery that is that dead and has been dead for a long time, the interior lights were probably on for 6 months or so. Because remember, somebody had turned them on. Grandkids. Because they were playing in the car, apparently. So it constantly had a draw on it. That battery was wiped out, stone dead. And it was also 6 years old. It was an interstate battery, so they're garbage to begin with. When you have a battery that is that dead, what happens is you get it started, and now the alternator is trying to supply power to that battery. It's also trying to supply power to the PCM, the BCM, the TCM, whatever other modules you have in there, security module, all these other modules. It has to supply a certain amount of voltage. The modules don't like to have anything, like I learned this when I was working on Chryslers at the dealership, usually nothing less than like 12.3 volts. If you have anything less than that, it will usually shut a module down. I believe it's 12.3, it could be 11.9, I don't remember exactly, whatever. Hang on. Oh, he went the other way, I think. So with a battery that dead, and you get it running, up and running, yes, the alternator is working, but the problem is that the battery becomes so unstable voltage-wise that had I been able to hook a voltmeter up to it or something just so I could see what the voltage was, I guarantee you it was probably fluctuating between 2 volts and 12 volts. You know, 9, 6, 12, 8 point something. I guarantee you it was floating all over the place because the alternator is trying to keep up, trying to do something to keep it running, to keep voltage going into the system. But because you have everything else in the system that needs voltage, it couldn't stabilize because the battery was still hooked up. Had I jump-started it with that jumper and immediately disconnected the battery, I could have kept it running and moved it out of the garage. I just didn't even think about it at the time. So there's that. I'm gonna hook the battery back up. I'm gonna start this up because I don't like to start a car up and leave it running for a short period of time like I did this. I wanna get them at least to get some temperature in them. It's not good for the engines. You can create issues with flooding them out and stuff like that. If you saw, I had that Chevy pickup truck, the one that flooded out because of a bad coolant temperature sensor. You can inadvertently do stuff like that and slightly flood them out because you get the temperature up slightly and then the ambient temperature is just such and whatnot, and then all of a sudden you wind up with a problem. So I am going to hook the battery back up. We're going to start this back up, and then I'm just going to let it warm up. So hang on. Let me reverse you here. So hopefully you might hear the chime go off when I hook the battery up. Oh, there it is going off. Oh, and matter of fact, here, you can actually see. At least you should be able to. You can hear it, but you can't really see it. Before, you could actually see a pretty decent spark pop out of it. All right. So now she'll start and run. And like I said, I just want her to get some temperature in her, and then she'll be fine. She'll be good to go. Like I said, I still got to clean it up. I got to put a steering shaft in. It's a bunch of little things I got to do to this car. This car was a running and driving car until the steering shaft became an issue, and my daughter was still driving it at that point, which, whatever. She should have told me, but she didn't. But then again, she was in New York, and I was in North Carolina. Anyway, so that's pretty much it for right now. I just wanted to show you that, but that was a great question. A bunch of you asked that question, like, hey, it should have kept running because of the alternator. And yes, I agree with you, but in a situation like this, no, it won't keep running. So the alternator wasn't a problem. I knew it wasn't a problem, but anyway. I mean, could have been a problem sitting? Could the alternator have decided to go take a poop? Anything's possible. Absolutely anything's possible. I've seen stranger things. And not even the show. I've never seen the show, but you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, so, all right. That's pretty much it. Hopefully you're getting something out of my videos. If you are, hit that like button. If you could, please subscribe. All right, guys, have a great day. Keep wrenching.